In ancient times, kings and emperors relied on astrologers to advise them on things, everything from food to wars to the people. And in more modern times, J.P. Morgan very famously said that millionaires don't use astrologers, billionaires do. Most people expect an astrologer to be able to do predictive work. So that means to know what's going to happen this year, next year, and so on and so forth. Now, if you're a business owner, this piece of information is going to be so much more valuable to you than if you were just an employee. Now, for the simple reason that for most business owners, a single decision can make or break your business. And very often you have multiple factors in your mind before you make a final decision. So in all this time that I've practiced astrology, some of the more notable examples of how prediction has really made a huge difference to my clients were, for example, I had this client where there were 2 or 3 very talented young men who started an IT firm, and they started to bring their business overseas, and a lot of these collaborations showed up. In particular, there was a collaboration that came from China at the time, which seemed to be able to bring them multi-million-dollar investment funds to sort of fund into the product that they were building. And these 3 young men came to see me simply because they thought something was a little bit off with that contract. And what happened was, with astrology, we were able to sort of determine why exactly these people look so dubious. My clients suspected that there was money laundering involved in the funds that were being offered to them, and the astrology charts corroborated that. So what happened was my clients in the end chose not to collaborate with these people, and in fact avoided some legal issues later on. So this is one of the ways in which an astrologer can really save some difficulties of you. Now, astrology can also show you some of the opportunities that are coming up and how to sort of best make use of them. Another one of my clients is a Singaporean who traded in bird's nests that were being produced in Indonesia. So when he came for his consultation, he had some plans to take his business outside of the Singapore-Indonesian market. And what happened was we identified certain periods of time and certain cities in which it seemed like he was more able to sell his product. And in fact, he signed a very lucrative contract with a bird's nest distributor in a particular city in China, which at the time meant that his business was going to be multiplied by 4 or 5-fold at the time. So that was very, very good for him. So in fact, for most business owners, what you really want to think about is why come and see an astrologer? And I like to liken it to sort of like seeing a doctor, you know. Like most of the time, if business is going well, it's very seldom that a business owner feels like, oh, you know, let's go and see my astrologer. In my experience, most business owners come to me if you happen to be in any of the following situations. That if you have some kind of groundbreaking decision that you have to make, or you might be taking your business in a different direction, you might be launching a new product or a new service. And for many of you who are watching this video at around the turn of this 2020 or 2020-21 period, you may find that the business climate is changing so rapidly, where I've spoken in other videos about how we are moving the elemental shift from earth to air, so that many of you are thinking about changing the format of your business, and in many ways also potentially adjusting your business to suit a very different target audience, right? So then this is where prediction comes in fantastically, and you'll find that the best astrologers don't just give you a general, oh, in 2020 this is going to happen. The best astrologers can give you predictions down to the exact dates, and they also tell you how things are going to be affected for you. And sometimes you find that we go beyond just predicting events. A good astrologer should also be able to help a business owner to calm himself down and to manage his psychological or emotional responses to the challenges that they are facing in their business. As an example, one of my students and clients was about to sign a collaborative contract with a training partner. But what happened was, when we looked at his astrological chart, I identified a specific period of time, which actually was the period where he was signing the contract, in which he was actually somewhat dreamy, perhaps unrealistic, idealistic about the terms of the agreement. So I had warned him beforehand that some of these projections were going to be way too idealistic and optimistic. So what happened was he was able to sort of mitigate and manage his expectations such that as 6 months later, and as I had predicted, I had sort of warned him that there was a potential that this partnership was not going to work well. He was able to cut his losses in the sense that he had not invested so much of his time and effort into it. So what was most important was that he got out of that situation being completely calm, and he understood what was happening so that he was able to make his next step. So if you are a business owner and you understand how different the business climate is going to be, how valuable is such a consultation going to be for you is dependent on how do you want to run your business, what kind of pain do you want to save yourself, and are there some specific plans and specific decisions that you're expecting to make in 2020 and 2021. You want to get in touch with us, send us an email at hello@selfastrology.com if you have inquiries about what the consultation includes and does not include. But I'll tell you that if you have major plans for the next couple of years, a consultation with me can be a phenomenal experience.